Hey everybody, off the top rope here, off the Mike Sports Network. So I talked about it and I posed the question: is Jamie Hayter going to beat Mercedes Mone at at Double or Nothing over Memorial Day weekend next month in Glendale, Arizona? I have my doubts. In fact, I'm getting close to the point where I would be surprised if Jamie Hayter won. Um, and it's frustrating because listen, let's be clear. I like Mercedes Moné. I think she's a very incredibly talented wrestler. As a character, she leaves a lot to be desired. Her promo ability is kind of lacking. And I think she's got a massive ego, and that's been exposed in AEW over the last year. What's ironic is, hey, Double or Nothing has a significant meaning for both of these ladies. Jamie Hayter, that's where she had her last, championship match. She defended the title against Tony Storm before she was timeless. Short match. Jamie Hayter, they just did that to get the title off her because she was really banged up. And she ultimately had to miss the next year and a half. So, and then Mercedes Moné, she made her wrestling debut at Double or Nothing, winning the TBS title from Willow Nightingale, which I hated, and that was a sign of things to come. Mercedes Hogan, sister, just that doesn't work for me. And so here we are, a calendar year later. Mercedes is holding virtually every women's championship under the sun, and Jamie Hayter really has been lightly pushed for the last, year or so, where, she's been in and out of mid-card feud. She hadn't even gotten a TBS championship match. And she lost it. She had a feud with Julia Hart. She was losing a bunch. She was messing around with Soraya last year when she came back on the pre-show, on the 0 Hour show. And it's just the signs are not good for fans of Jamie Hayter. And then there's also the element of she's praised CM Punk. And we know how Tony Khan is when it comes to his former favorite guy, who is his top draw in that company. And this is where I ultimately think, especially with the money that's being invested in Mercedes Moné, fair or not, and also the creative control that she possesses, I'm going to be really surprised if Jamie Hayter wins. It's, to me, despite all you marks and you stands for Mercedes who think that it's better for the women's division to have one championship match at All In, and it just be, Mercedes and Tony Storm. Admittedly, a dream match and would be a big box office attraction. But Mercedes has got another title on her. So what are we doing with the TBS title? We're just gonna hold the whole women's division hostage, which kind of makes sense because she's beating everybody. And everybody was thinking Statlander was going to win the match. It's Statlander had already lost twice to Mercedes. So what was she going to lose to her again? And I hate it for Chris Statlander because Chris Statlander is one of the best and most talented and versatile women in that division. But she can't get a win to save her life because the people booking this shit don't understand, and they have put their eggs in too many other baskets, and it's kind of held this division hostage. And when you've got a talent like Jamie Hayter, who got organically over, and then her push got abruptly stopped because of an unfortunate injury right in the middle of her women's championship run, after she beat Tony Storm, and then she dropped it right back to Tony Storm at Double or Nothing 2 years ago. But here we are, and I just, like I said, we're a month away from the match. And they got a chance to make it at least somewhat convincing that maybe Jamie could win this, but it's just the way she's been pushed, the way she's been booked. And again, we've got time to change my mind, but at this day and juncture, and this point in time, there's no reason for me to believe that Mercedes Moné is going to put over Jamie Hayter. The only way that this is if she gets protected because Athena screws her over. But there's been no reference of Athena whatsoever. None. And maybe they bring that back in the next month. But there has been zero reference to that. So even if that's on the table, and again, I think the right move is you go Jamie, Tony, there's a story there. And then you've got Mercedes, Athena, there's a story there. And you have 2 women's matches for All In Texas. That's good. But everybody wants Mercedes to just hold every championship. And to me, that's not good for business. And if they go that route, all their prerogative. They paid her all that money. She's got all that creative control. Okay. But it's not the right business move. And I'm really scared that again they're just going to bury this women's division because Mercedes Hogan wants to have her line in the sun, and she's earned it to the point of, hey, she is a commodity in wrestling, but she has gotten exposed as she's not as great as she thinks that she is. And she got this contract and all these privileges because of who she was. She hasn't evolved, she hasn't changed. And here we are. We're in a belt collector gimmick. What does that do for the women's division? What? She goes face Toni Storm at All In, beats Toni for the women's championship, and she's going to hold that until she has to drop the TBS title because she passes Jade's record because she's not losing that. Guys, the signs are there. Like it's not looking good. Jamie should win, but Mercedes, I think, is going to win. And maybe my opinion changes in the next month because they got a month to build this thing, and maybe they got an opportunity to do it. But it's not the signs are not good for this possibly happening. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.